Are you modern or classic?
Flip-flops or hiking boots?
Binoculars or reading glasses? Surf or turf?
Our next guests today are Davis Park and Jill Hammer. Davis is the director of the Center for Innovation and Wellbeing at Front Porch. And Jill is an executive at the California Lutheran Homes Foundation. Thank you both for joining us today.
Thank you.
Davis, thank you for joining us today, and welcome back to the show.
Good to be here.
Great to be here. And so we want to start with you in terms of cyber online security. So tell us, Front Porch is very involved with that, and what is online safety, and why is this a very important topic for seniors today?
Sure. So online safety is general internet protection. Like, what are the things that you're doing in order to protect yourself from all kinds of things that you may come across on the internet, whether it's virus protection, whether it's being careful about opening attachments in your email, coming across things that kind of like look really enticing, but knowing when to stop and knowing when you spot a scam when you see one. And in 2014, we had about 60% of people 65 and over actually on the internet. So we're seeing a lot more people, older folks, going online. So we're seeing this explosion of people coming onto the internet. But at the same time, we have about 1 in 14 cases of elder abuse ever reported.
Right.
45% of financial abuse actually begins on the internet. So when you kind of thread these things together, you're sort of like developing a picture of the vulnerability of folks as more and more people come on the internet and come online. And this is kind of important to us in how we approach cybersecurity, because oftentimes when you go to a presentation or you hear about internet safety and cybersecurity, it's all about don't click on this, don't touch this, don't open this, you gotta do this, you gotta do that. And it's pretty frightening, when it's presented in that sort of way. And it kind of pushes people away from actually engaging with the internet and talking and using it for all the full benefits that are presented to us. So our kind of take and our perspective on internet security and online safety is about recognizing all of the wonderful things that are afforded to us through the internet, but it's also about like how we can just be responsible citizens of the internet and using it in a way that's safe.
And Front Porch, which has beautiful senior communities up and down the coast of California. And so are you reaching out into the community, and what are you doing at the community level?
So we do a number of things on a community level with respect to engaging with folks who are on the ground and just ordinary consumers. We look at all kinds of technologies to help support aging. We look at interventions to help with helping people with their medications, to exploring technologies that detect falls, that help predict falls even. We're really interested in robotics technology, for example, as we had talked about earlier in one of your previous shows, as a caregiving tool to help people who may be experiencing dementia or any sort of cognitive challenge. So we really scan the field of technology, see what's out there and available to meet needs and look for solutions that help address some of the challenges when it comes to aging and help improve well-being.
Just one more follow-up question. I'm just curious, there's been a study of how many of your residents at the communities are on smartphones versus flip phones.
Sure. So we've done polls with Front Porch communities on looking at the penetration of smartphones and iPads and tablet technologies, and we're finding that it's around 30%. About 30% of folks who are coming to our communities have some kind of device and technology. You would have asked, if you were to ask that question like just 2 years ago, that number would have just not been existent. I mean, we're talking about a lot more people adopting these kinds of tools, these communication tools. And we're really excited about it, because we really believe that these kinds of innovations and solutions can really help us age well and stay healthy and active.
So Jill, tell us a little bit about the California Lutheran Homes Foundation and how did you get involved in the cybersecurity?
Okay, so California Lutheran Homes is a social ministry organization that began in 1947. And we are one of the original 3 partners that formed Front Porch. And so we are Front Porch partner, and that has been a really wonderful sort of marriage of many organizations to come together. So what happens in the foundation is that we are able to fund 100% programs that enhance quality of life and also innovation. So none of our fundraising or gifts that come to us go to core operations. And so that's a wonderful impact of every dollar that comes in. Part of what's really great about the organization too is that we are a safe place for our residents to make estate gifts or planned gifts that have a long-term impact. And so one of our residents, who has now passed, is named Ellie Piers. And she actually received an iPad as a gift, didn't know what to do with it, and then discovered she loves playing solitaire and realized you could do that with the iPad. So that really sort of launched her passion that grew of understanding technology. It was safe and playful. And eventually she started using it for connecting and for doing online banking and a variety of things.
Wow.
So in that process, she discovered the vulnerabilities that can happen, that there are ways that technology can come into your home in unwanted ways. And so she wanted to find out, how do you do this safely? How do my peers, how do people in my hometown of San Diego, how do we do this and be safe? And there was no resource that she could put her hand on. So as she was at the end of her life, she made this a priority, and her fiduciary arranged all of the details for a significant gift to come through California Lutheran Homes Foundation. And it was then, at that time, that the Center for Innovation and Wellbeing began to work with those funds to create a program. And we call this our cyber safety initiative, known as the Piers Project.
Oh, that's so neat.
Yeah.
And so, Davis, tell us about the Piers Project. This is the Piers Project,
Right.
obviously, so you've
Right.
kind of talked about it. If you kind of want to expand on that a little bit and kind of see where it is today and where you plan on taking it.
Sure. So the Piers Project is a cybersecurity education and awareness initiative that's particularly focused in the San Diego area. So in the spirit of Ellie Piers, we really wanted to use this opportunity to get as many people to understand the importance of safe online behavior, again, while still highlighting like all the benefits that come with using the internet. So since we have launched the Piers Project, we've conducted workshops in about 30 communities. We've developed and distributed a toolkit that we've sent out to about 2,800 individuals.
Wow.
And again, the idea here is to give people resources, something that they can take home with them and look through and reference in terms of best practices, like what to look out for, and resource and helpline information in case something does happen.
The reminders too, being able to take something home with them as a reminder. So you may not today experience this, but it may tickle something in the back of their mind, and then they can go back to the resource and say, that's where I...
All right. So the toolkit is designed as a reference tool. So in case people do forget, then they can simply turn to a page. Oh, I remembered to be careful about this email when that I learned through that presentation. But we also want to have people walk away with just 3 very, very important things when it comes to cybersecurity and internet. The first thing is to question. And so when you come across something on the internet that looks kind of different, what is it about that just seems kind of off? And then the second thing that you want to do is check for validity. Make sure that what you see is actually truthful and it is what it says it purports to be. And the last thing to do is to ask around. So if you're not sure about what it is that you're coming across, and and really have some doubts, then the important thing is to kind of talk with your peers, talk with your neighbors, talk with your caregivers, and try to get others involved as well. As I had mentioned, one of the important statistics about elder abuse is that only 1 in 14 of cases are ever
Very
reported.
true.
That's the sad
And
part.
the reason why people don't report these things is because they're embarrassed, they're scared, and they don't want to seem like they weren't doing something correctly. And so, but it's really important for us to share these stories and to let others know. So the more that we all know as a community about how to avoid these kinds of scams and this sort of fraud, the more we'll be able to protect ourselves because we learn from the experiences of others. And so it's really important for us to share these kinds of stories.
Is the scam process, it's a business in itself, obviously, and they're very well trained, and you can be a highly educated, highly intelligent individual and fall for a grandmother I'm in jail scam or the foreign lottery scam, and there's a new scam a month.
Right.
So I encourage the continued process of the Piers Project. So given that you are a foundation executive, again, if somebody were to want to make a gift through their estate plan, is that something they would contact your organization?
That's right. That's right. We can be contacted by email or by phone, and we love the opportunity to partner with donors who are really wanting to make a difference, whether in the lives of their own community or the broader community, like Ellie Piers.
And then they could direct those funds to
That's
the
right.
Piers.
Specific project like she
Yeah,
did.
that's right. So the gift would be to California Lutheran Homes with a specific identifier of how they want that to have impact. And often, because we are very relational in how we operate with donors, both who live in our communities and in the broader community, we have conversation that lead from one kernel of an idea to a bigger idea. And so that's part of our mission, yeah.
And you don't have to be Lutheran.
You do not have to be Lutheran, that's right.
Or Californian.
That's right, or Californian, that's so true, thank you. That's right.
And again, Patty and I, as you know, we work in the real estate world, and with prices have gone up, again, over the last 3 or 4 years so substantially, we just try to, when we talk to people, we say, you may want to carve out. It doesn't have to be the whole thing.
Right.
Carve out 10%, 15%. You own this very lovely home with an ocean view in La Jolla.
Right.
Or anywhere in Southern California. Think about it, and we really try to facilitate that conversation and get them to talk to their families so that there's harmony
Absolutely.
going through.
Absolutely.
So we appreciate
Yes.
what you're doing, and we hope that we can help you at any time in getting that word out, because we have seen it way too often where we've seen it. And it's really a sad, sad situation when somebody is getting abused in some fashion. So I applaud you both. Davis, last word for you. Any last comments on the Piers Project or what the innovation is doing that we can help you with in terms of getting the word out?
Sure. So I think that again, it's really important for people to be safe when they're on the internet, and we also again want to make sure that people experience the fullness and the richness of being connected, because being connected is really, really important as we age, and staying connected with our friends and our family members. But
And
we
fear
also,
will stop them from doing that. The
Right.
fear will stop.
So the idea behind the Piers Project again is to recognize like the wonderful benefits of being online. Banking, you can get affordable items while going online shopping, you're staying connected with friends and families. But again, we just need to be responsible and make sure that when we do come across something that we question, we ask, and we check. So those are really the important things that we want people to walk away with.
And my final, I want to thank Front Porch for helping Patty and I launch Senior Stay or Go TV. It has been very changing for us in terms of getting you folks on board. And anybody here, and again, we know we can speak for San Diego, whether it's Frederica Manor, Wesley Palms, Carlsbad by the Sea, or Casa de Mañana, or Summer House. I highly encourage you to call them and take a tour. I mean, We're trying to set up tours in 2017 for estate planning attorneys and fiduciaries because they really don't know how the model is changing. As you say, you went from almost 0% to 30% of people that are coming in with smartphones and tablets and things like that. They are places to thrive. They are places to live a fabulous quality of life. And I want to thank you guys so much for helping Patty and I get the word out. The communities here in San Diego are a place to just have so much fun. I thank you both for being here today. It's an honor to meet you both.
Thank you.
I thank you. And good luck to you on the Piers Project, and I hope just continued success. And that's it for today. Thank you for watching Senior Stay or Go TV.
Are you modern or classic?
Flip-flops or hiking boots?
Binoculars or reading glasses? Surf or turf?